What's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. Coming back to you with another video with my main man, the #1 prime time treasure. I was going to say hustler.
Hunter.
You are a hustler.
I am.
Shout out to Rockstar Flipper.
Yeah, shout out to Rockstar Flipper and Craigslist Hunter as well.
Awesome. Today we have a very interesting / controversial topic, and what we're going to be talking about is
negotiation techniques, and also the more controversial part would be dealing with lowballers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You guys know what a lowballer is, right? You ever have that item up for sale on eBay? Maybe you're selling, I don't know, a certain comic book or something for $100, and they send you that lovely $12.99 offer.
Right.
What goes through your mind when that happens?
It's really annoying, you know. It's just to be plainly honest. And in many ways, I feel that it's just not respectful. It's in many ways, it's sort of like, you know, when you go and you buy a house and you're trying to make an offer. One of the things the real estate agent tells you is to make sure when you make that offer that you don't insult the owner of the house. Now, people will tell you don't get your emotions too caught up in it, and I agree with that. You shouldn't get too caught up with that you let it ruin your day, or you know, you start like kicking things and throwing things. You do have to just move past it, but I just kind of roll my eyes and move past it that way. So it's just annoying, but you know, I know what the value of the item is.
Why do they do it so often? Why do lowball offers come in so freaking often? Because it's almost as if there is no respect, and they maybe they do it because they've had success in the past.
Yeah, well, see, some people are just poking around to see if you have
Testing
a lower limit set.
Yeah.
Sometimes and so they just want to get just over that, so they'll waste like a few offers just to get.
Because they get 3 offers, right?
Yeah, sometimes
or did that increase?
A little more, and they'll go right over that cusp. They'll try to get right over that cusp so they could get it for the lowest amount that you've automatically set it for. So there's that, and then there's some people that are just trying to test you because they know many of them are sellers themselves actually, and they know that there's a lot of seller anxiety. People might be having a bad week in sales, and people are just kind of desperate to get stuff out, and they might accept a low ball offer just to kind of get things going. And so there's that as well. A lot of times they're just testing you out. Yeah.
So let's discuss a little bit of the psychology and how you move forward when you get a low ball offer. And we were talking behind the scenes. Dominic was sharing some amazing tips for how to determine a buyer's intention and to get a better idea of if they're bluffing or not.
Yeah, so sometimes you can get ideas just based on the person's user ID alone. So example I gave is if I had a Masters of the Universe He-Man action figure toy that I was selling, and let's say I was selling it for $49.99, and a person comes in, offers me $20, and we're going back and forth, and we finally get to a point where, let's say we're at you know, $34.99 or something like that. And at that point, I will most likely not budge off of it if the person's username is Skeletor72 or, you know, He-Man 89, you know, so I know that based on the username, this person collects this stuff. You could also go into their feedback, and while it doesn't say the specific items now, what sometimes happens when someone responds, they'll say, thank you for purchasing the He-Man toy, or thank you for purchasing this toy. So you could get a sense sometimes about what they're purchasing through that. Sometimes it's where they're geographically located. So sometimes I sell some pinup girl photos, and if it's someone from a military base that's purchasing it, I know that they're most likely bluffing if they're saying they're not going to buy it, because they need that they want that type of stuff up in the barracks. So you got to be strategic sometimes in terms of how you try to figure these things out.
Do you ever set any limitations, or there's settings that you can put in? For example, you're selling something for $50 and you can reject offers that are under X amount. Do you ever set up those settings? Is it worth it in your opinion, or have you never really messed around with it?
For some people it could be worth it. I know a lot of people do that because they just don't want to mess with it when it comes in, and so it's just an automatic decline.
I've never done it.
I never do it.
I want to play the game.
Yeah, it just takes some extra time, and I kind of like knowing what's coming in, and I like knowing what kind of you know, offers people are making. And so this way, later on down the road, when the person actually gives me a realistic offer for what it is, you feel better about it, and you kind of laugh about the person who made the lowball offer to you. So I like to do that.
So let's play a little game.
Okay.
Put a scenario out. Say you have I don't know, pick a random item.
Okay, let's say we have a vintage Grateful Dead t-shirt.
Okay, what would you list that at?
Those go for high. So let's say we got it for $99.99.
$99.99, and you get in an offer from a buyer who maybe has 800 feedback.
Yep.
And they send you an offer at $22. I would definitely consider that. a low ball offer.
Yeah.
Let's play out, what are you gonna do in this situation?
Well, for the viewers, before I go into that, let's just explain to them and define a lowball offer.
Okay.
Because, we just say lowball offer. People say, oh, well, it's low. Well, what defines it as being low?
Sure.
The way I would define it is that you've got to do your completed sold market research on it, and you've got to determine what the value of it in terms of how it's sold in the marketplace, how it's performing, and what your current competition is for the item. That will establish for you what the market rate is for it.
Because some might be going for 74
Yeah.
auction, some might
Yeah.
be going for 86 buy
Right.
it now, some might be going 140 mint condition. So you've got to factor in condition,
Yep.
all different types of things.
Yeah.
Feedback.
So you'll get a sense of that when you look at both of those things, and that will give you a sense of what it's worth. And so if someone's offering you less than 50% of
Yeah.
what the established market value is, that's where I would call it a lowball. So
Lowball.
in your example, now some people are going to disagree with me on this, I understand that, but what I would do, and I've done this very successfully, is to just reject the offer. There's a myth out there that
Really?
yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
I would completely reject the
Because it's
offer.
offensive. You want them to know, listen, if you're gonna come back serious.
And not only that, but also I feel that establishes confidence on you. It portrays confidence as the seller in your item, that you know that it is worth a certain amount and that you are only going to sell it for a certain dollar amount. You're not going to go that low. You're not desperate. You're going to hold firm on being, doesn't mean you're not willing to make a deal. That's why you have best offer up. You're willing to work, but you're not willing to work to that degree. That doesn't make any sense.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so in that situation,
Yep.
let's just say that you straight up reject it. You're gonna
Yep.
reject I'm gonna pretend like I'm the buyer. You're gonna
Yeah.
reject my $22 offer.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna send you an offer of $36.
Right. So that's what I call a double low ball. And it's a psychological technique that a lot of buyers use.
Double low ball.
It's called a double low ball.
Because it meets under that 50% mark
Absolutely.
in our mind.
They're doing it twice. And they're doing it like that because they're hoping that you feel bad rejecting it a second time. So it's a psychological technique that buyers will use to get you to be more accepting of their price.
So the double low ball just came in at you.
Yeah, and I'm rejecting it. And there could be
Another reject.
and there could be triple low balls. Triple low balls could come in
man.
too. Right. So eventually you're going to get to the point where that person who's making that offer is going to have to decide, because they're going to run out of offers.
How many offers do they get nowadays?
It used to be 3, but now it's like 4 or
they
5.
increased
Yeah, it's
it.
like they bumped it up. It's like 5 now. It's like crazy.
Don't they have this new thing now where it's or it's like kind of like Poshmark? They have something new. I don't know if you heard of it.
Well, there is a thing. I think what you might be referring to is now you can make offers to buyers, but that's a whole
based on
separate
engagement
thing.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
we won't go into that in this
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. But I would just keep saying no, because here's the reason why, Steve, is that I know I'm a big data person, okay? So I know based on past behavior, so as a psychologist, I know that past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. So I know if I see that there's a long string of this item selling for $99.99, $74.99, and that I'm actually the person who's selling it maybe for the lowest or close to the lowest right now, that it's going to sell. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit. Maybe you have to wait a week. You gotta be patient.
And this low baller who's hitting you with 22
Right.
and then 36, there's no way in a million years he's coming up over 80.
Most likely not.
I mean, there's a small
Yeah.
percent, there's a chance. Obviously,
Yeah.
you don't want to generalize everything,
Right.
but
You'll
you're going to
get-
waste a lot of time.
You will get an anecdotal story of someone who, let's say, was offered what you
Yeah.
made an offer like you said, and then they counter offered at 95 and the person bought it at 95.
I've never seen that
The
happen,
chances
though.
that's right. So that's what I'm saying. What do you want to do? Do you just want to decline, or you want to spend all this time going back writing counter offers for what's going to happen 1 in 1,000 times? It's very unusual that something like that
They're
can happen.
lowballing you for a reason.
Right.
They're trying to get a really, really good deal.
Right.
So let's play another scenario out.
Sure.
This Grateful Dead shirt, which
Yep.
is listed at $99.99.
Right.
Let's just say the first offer comes in at $51. Now it meets your criteria. It's not a low ball, at least it's based on your criteria, right? Because it's not under the 50% mark. Are you going to instant reject that? Because now we're kind of crossing the line a little bit.
Yeah, we're very close in that situation. I probably would reject that one as well.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because it's still pretty close.
Do
it's
not make an
taking a
offer at
low
his
ball.
listings,
Yeah,
guys.
well,
You're going to get rejected.
Right. I actually have a lot of repeat people who come to me, and they know, like at this point, like he'll work with me, but I've got to make a
But
respectful
you have a
offer.
hot selling item. We're talking about a Grateful Dead shirt right now.
Yeah, well,
if
that
it
is-
was something that wasn't like a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, if it was something more or less the lines of like having a market of like 5 out of 10,
Yeah.
then you might
Right.
start to
Right.
engage a little more.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
assuming.
That does play into it. So one of the things that I'll look at is the number of likes that I have on the item, number of watchers, I should say. And so I'll actually use that as a negotiation strategy. I'll tell the person, like, listen, I've got 14 watchers on this and it's going to sell soon. So I'll give it to you for this price if you want
Yeah.
it. And if you want it, it's yours. And they got to make a decision at that point. But again, it's all about conveying confidence, because what they're trying to do a lot of times with these low balls is they're trying to prey on someone who they feel is not confident. So you got to show that confidence in your item. And it's obviously only going to work with good items. If you have an item that's really not worth $99.99, it's really worth $60, someone's offering you $50 and you're unrealistic about the $100, then you're making a mistake. So you have to base it on the data.
Yeah, one of the best skills that we as eBay sellers can learn is learning how to determine the true market value of an item. And the best way is just based on previous comparable sales, finding that specific item. Not each item within a brand is going to be created equally and have the same value. You've got to factor in, like for clothing, you've got materials, you've got sizes, you've got seasonality, you've
Right.
got different prints and colors and patterns. So the same thing applies even outside of clothing, is you want to find comparable sales as specific as possible to the one you're selling. And then you even have to factor in buy it now, seller feedback, picture quality,
Right.
shipping time,
Yep.
all that
How
stuff.
much
So
you
there's a
sourced
lot.
it for.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Right. So, just to play out further what you were saying in terms of that, that one scenario, let's say it wasn't a Grateful Dead shirt, it was something that wasn't maybe quite as hot, maybe you couldn't even find a good comp for it, but you just priced it at 100. Someone offers you 50, you sourced it for maybe $1 or $2.
Yeah.
At that point, you could go and I might make a counter offer at the person 75, meet in the middle. Let's say it doesn't cost a lot to ship, because I'm going to make probably like 70, 60 bucks on it. So meet in the middle strategy is a very good psychological approach to use with people, because you both feel like you're giving the same amount.
Yeah.
It feels fair.
Right.
And so that's a very popular strategy that a lot of people have been using, that I've been promoting a lot, is again, meet in the middle, but only meet in the middle once they're getting to that point that you feel it's respectful.
Now, I'm interested to hear, Dominic, when you send a counter offer, you know how you have a little space to write something in?
Yep.
Do you ever type something in? Because
Always.
I found in the past my offers, my counter offers would be accepted more often than not if I wrote something along the lines of, thanks so much, I'll ship it the next day, I'll package this up safely, say something that kind of brings a little human side to things.
Absolutely, very important to provide that great customer service. I have a slogan that I say kind of all the time, or a phrase. I just say, hello and thank you for your offer. I can meet you in the middle at blah, 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 just say the number with free shipping, because I do free shipping. And then I end it off with, and if that works, comma, this is yours. Thanks, exclamation point. Boom. And I end it off with that, it's yours, because I want to kind of psychologically tantalize them. Like they could feel it. It's like right there, it's yours. All you have to do is hit that button and it's yours.
They didn't know that there was a psychologist
on the other end.
On the other end.
Messing with their minds.
Dominic, this was an awesome video. This was a lot of fun. Drop a comment down below, guys and gals. Let us know what you thought of this video. And please feel free to share any tips or tricks or opinions or things you do differently. That's the cool thing about this reselling community. There's not only one way to do things, there's multiple ways. What we're sharing is just the way that we've been doing it. And Dominic and I'm sure we do things a little differently, but that's cool. Like, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to make a profit on eBay and be successful. But I think at the end of the day, if you come from a place of value and wanting to help and create an amazing customer experience, I think you're going to be, definitely having some great results. So Dominic, appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Coming on, and
Love
hopefully everybody has a chance to go check out Dominic's YouTube channel. And I think you wanted to show something.
Oh, I got some presents for Raking Profits here. We want to get this on video here.
We wanted to subscribe first. Subscribe to him first.
Yeah, hey, listen, I got over 350 videos in a little over a year. So, there's just tons of content there. And I have a whole playlist on negotiation and lowballs. That's what it's called. So if you want to see more about that, go check that out.
Yeah, go check it out for sure.
But I've been following Steve for a long time, and before I had my own YouTube channel, and I made it a point to thank him when I hit 1,000 subscribers, along with a few other people. And so I'm really glad to be here right now. And I know the kind of things he likes. We've even been playing a little bit out here. He loves natural food type of stuff.
Oh,
He's real
God,
big into
I
that.
would be
So I made sure I got a few things. Like he's drinking mineral water, and I'm drinking Mountain Dew. Like we're opposites on the whole food thing, but that's all right. So Steve, I'm gonna start with a little small thing, and we'll kind of work our way up. So I don't know. I figured you'd like these little veggie protein powered things.
What the heck are these
You
things?
know you're gonna like that.
Veggie protein
yeah,
powder.
protein power. You know you're gonna like
I was
that.
trying to, are these are edamame.
Yeah, the edamame things, right? I
these
know
things
you
are
love
gonna
that.
be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, he's gonna
Oh,
love
man.
that. So that's awesome,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Right. So I scored on that
Woo.
one, right? Crushed it. Now I was hoping. I was actually gonna text you. I was gonna call you. I was gonna say, dude, do you like maple syrup?
Who doesn't like
All right, I
anything
hope
sweet?
you like maple syrup. So here we go. These are awesome. My wife loves these. They're little candies. They're made out of maple sugar. It's like pure maple
Man,
sugar,
we should
man.
try one right now.
It's great. It's great, man. You enjoy it. It's all yours. I actually like, I joke with my wife because she gets this real, well, I tell her the real maple syrup is Log Cabin, Aunt Jemima, and Mrs. Butterworth. For
Okay.
me, that's real.
Okay.
Let us know in the chat what you think is the real maple syrup or not. Speaking, Steve, of real maple syrup,
The gifts keep coming.
the gifts keep coming, man. I love this guy. So here you go. We got another gift for you here. It's like Christmas in March, right?
Oh, more
So,
maple
More maple syrup. And that's from New York. Yep.
Pure maple syrup.
Right from New York. That's
You guys,
right
it
from New York.
pays to have a YouTube channel.
It does. It does. You
Man.
never know what kind of gifts you're going to get. Now this,
Thank you.
Steve, this is going to be, I think, the funniest one. I think it's the best one. I'm saving for the
I'm
end.
terrified.
I
Hey, Zach, turn off the camera right now. No, I'm just playing.
don't really have it wrapped up, so let me wrap the bag around like this and make it feel more like a
I don't
present.
know what
so
this
here
is.
you go, man. Let's see if you like
I'm
it.
scared. What do we have? Roadkill slather sauce. What the heck
No,
is this?
right. You gotta, it makes it. The reason why it's called that is that it's such good sauce, Steve. It's from New York. Okay?
Is it really that
Yeah,
good?
it's from New York. It's so good that you could put this on roadkill and you would love it. Like that's how good the
Wow.
sauce is. That's why it's called roadkill sauce.
Wow.
Yeah, you're obviously not going to go scrape a beaver up off the highway here in Connecticut.
Roadkill slather sauce.
There you go, man. Now, have you
You
ever
got the
had
little
that
rack-
before?
No, I haven't.
No, you have not. Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
I'm a huge fan. This is barbecue sauce?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's
yeah.
different types too. There's like hot sauce
Yeah.
and all this kind of thing. Yeah.
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 I love a good sauce, man. Hot
Yeah.
sauce, barbecue
Yeah.
sauce,
There you go.
honey mustard.
Yeah.
So I'll
You're gonna have
definitely-
to like give me a shout out on
I'll
Instagram
definitely
when you
have
when you
to.
pour out the roadkill sauce.
Awesome. Hey, well, appreciate all the gifts, man. And it's
That's right.
been
Awesome.
you know, we recorded a bunch of videos here together, 6 videos today. It's been awesome. You know, I love interacting with other resellers and
Yeah.
people who are, you know, just doing big things. And I appreciate you sharing all the amazing information you're
Oh,
sharing
thanks,
on your
buddy.
YouTube channel. And
Yeah.
it's what this community is all about. There's too many people out here, you know, in United States and even internationally who are suffering financially. And it doesn't have to be that way in 2019 and beyond, whether that's reselling or it's private label on Amazon or wholesale or drop shipping or estate sales, garage sales, Kindle publishing. I know you have a pretty popular website that you make money from on your blog and stuff. So,
Yep.
I mean, there's so many opportunities out there. This is what our channels are all about, helping you guys. So,
Yeah, empowering other people. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to smash that like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Peace.